Colton, all right, how you doing? Okay, got your work up here. Let's go ahead and take a look. I've got the front of the poster. We'll start with the front, and then we'll move into the back. So let's go ahead and get this fit into the windows. I think the front's looking pretty good. You're turned out quite nicely in your laureate's name. Yeah, you're looking pretty good here. Little bit tight right here, just a little bit tight, a little bit loose. Let me see here. Yeah, that's the only thing right there. That's just a little tight. Other than that, I think you're looking fantastic. Yeah, good job. Okay, the kind of atomic symbol for the tittle for the eye, I think it's too close to the eye. I do. I think that right there creates a little bit of uncomfortable visual tension. The fact that that is overlapping the white part of the eye. My recommendation is to take that tittle and move it up a little bit. You might even consider those kind of, let me show you what I mean, those kind of loopy, right there, those kind of interlocking circles. You might even consider transposing those to white. I think that's really going to work. So you have red and white, and then lift it above the tittles, lift the tittle above the eye, so you don't have this overlapping right here. I think it's going to work beautifully. I highly recommend it. Theoretical physicist, you don't want to stroke letter forms. You've got a red stroke on this. You don't want to do that. That's not considered to be a poor typographic practice. One that I avoid. I've never, ever, ever stroke type forms. And the reason being is because it actually changes the shape of the letter form itself and or the negative space associated with the letter form. The stroke has to either go on the inside of the contour line for the letter, the outside, or in the middle. If it goes on the inside, it's reducing the stroke width of the typeface. If it goes on the outside, it's messing with the negative space associated with neighboring letters. And if it goes in the middle, it kind of does both. So let's stay away from stroking letter forms. Let's go ahead and take a look at your typeset here. Okay, a few things here. So you've got some interesting things going on, right? Good job using your old style numerals. Fantastic job here. There's a couple of areas though where you're not. So example, this is 1879 set in old style, looks beautiful, right? But over here 1896 isn't, so it stands out like a sore thumb, doesn't it? So just be consistent in that. I've noticed that in all of these paragraphs your rags need to be adjusted. Every one of them without fail needs to be adjusted. So I'll be looking for that in the final. Of course, there is the video in the course announcements that summarizes and actually goes into detail on how to adjust your rags. There's one, okay, I'll get to that in 1 second. Okay, so row 2, okay, looking pretty good. I noticed that some of your paragraphs have wider spacing than others. What I would do is I would check your settings on each paragraph. Okay, so for example, this paragraph right here is tracked out. The letter spacing and the word spacing is much, much wider than the paragraph right above it. And you can just clearly see, if you look at the distance between the letter forms, it's much wider here. And then also this one too, it seems like even that the leading might be even a little bit wider here. So you got to get consistent in your presentation of your. And then this one here also has a drop cap. It's actually a raised cap. You don't want to do that. That's the raised cap or drop cap is dedicated only for an opening paragraph of a text selection. Yeah, definitely want to get your tracking and your kerning and leading to be consistent throughout. Okay, I'm just going through your type, each one of your, looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Okay, let's jump over to the timeline and see what we have here. Okay, that should be an N dash. N is in Nancy. The dash, anytime you use a number, the dash, connecting a number with a number or a number with a word, N dash, N as in Nancy. A little close to the margin edge right there. You might want to drop a word or two, actually drop 2 words, because otherwise you'd have a winner. You might want to drop a couple words down to the next line in that. Tell you what would be kind of really beautiful if you were to do this. You would take to your timeline and hang the year. So in other words, this will have to be done manually, but you can't uh, set your hanging. You can't set a whole set of numbers as hanging. It would have to be punctuation. So we're going to hang that by manually bringing started in and aligning it with the first letter. And all of your timeline entries that have 2 lines, do that. Pull this in, pull the second line in so it's in alignment with the first line, leaving the date hanging off the margin. Okay. Okay, other than that, we're looking pretty good. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, for the most part, you're looking great. A few little areas that need to be addressed, but overall, I think you're looking good. And the important thing is that you're showing a good understanding of typographic rules. So that's fantastic. Okay, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'll be glad to make any necessary clarifications. But I would like to see those. Um, I'd like to see those addressed in those comments addressed in your final iteration. All right, great. Thank you very much.